Welcome back to the Self-Care Revolution podcast. I'm your girl, Demita, and I am the host of the show, okay? Now, this is where we do the weekly reset. And the weekly reset, for those of you that have been here before, you know the weekly reset is where we just kind of spend a few minutes figuring out, hey, how many hydrating drinks have I had in the past week? Do I need to change that? How many plates of real food have I had in the past week? Do I need to change that? And we do the same thing with rest, prayer, reflection, and movement. Okay, that's the whole point of this. But like I said, we have 51 days left in the rest of this year. And that is not too late to start some momentum now. Start building some momentum now, because we want to be already in the mix of, whatever it is that we're focused on, and we just switching lanes when it comes to the new year, where everybody else will be like, oh, I'm about to start in the gym. We're not doing that. Okay. We're going to set some goals, some short goals, of what we're going to start on now. Okay. So, but first I just want to say this, I like to talk about self-care in real life. And what I mean by in real life is what do you actually do when X, Y, and Z happens? Okay. Now, I had all these grand plans this weekend. I was going to do this. I was going to record this, that, do this, that, and the other, right? But all the while, I still knew that I hadn't done the housework that I needed to do, wash the clothes that I needed to wash, and stuff like that. And it's So what did I do? I kept my morning routine the same as far as what I want to do in the morning, right? I got up, I said my prayers, I studied my little Bible studies that I committed to do for a year, and I'm like 267 days into that. But I do my morning prayer time. I move my body. Now, moving my body is not even always a full workout. At the very least, I do a full body stretch that ends up, I bend forward, reach up. I go out into a plank position. And anyway, at the very least, I do that, right? And then I make sure that I eat something that is good for me, so that whatever it is that I'm about to do, I'm not going to be stopping to say I'm hungry. I'm not going to be stopping to say I'm thirsty. And I'm not going to be feeling like I skipped something. Because when you ignore yourself in the morning and you put yourself on the back burner for everybody else, that sends a subliminal message to yourself that you don't really give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? You don't say it like that, but it starts to show up in how you're treating yourself, okay? So what I did was I just had to be like, you know what? The housework wins. I'm not doing no filming today. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. I'm going to focus on setting up my area, cleaning up, and things like that, because that is going to clear my mind when it's time for me to film. Okay. So that's how you got to look at stuff from time to time. And that was my real life moment of self-care in real life. Right. The point of it is that perfect plans are going to collapse. You need to be able to show up ready to go versus still needing basic stuff. Sending your child to school with no shoes on would be not setting them up for success. They don't even have a full set of clothing, right? So they're gonna struggle throughout the day. That's the way that it happens when we skip our self-care. You're skipping it and you're not paying attention, and then that's gonna affect everything else. I should tell y'all about my MBA story, because anybody that knows about the MBA, it is the Motor Vehicles Association. And that's where we go to get our, driver's license and things like that in Maryland. Okay, now, usually I wasn't happy to go, but usually I'm just dreading it because I'm doing it either, I'm taking off from work to do it, or I'm doing it in the middle of the day. This time, I was able to take off work and handle it, but before I did it, I made sure that I ate some food. I made sure that I moved my body, and I made sure that I had my little prayer time and stuff like that. Just that whole act of the little morning routine I had, sent the message to myself that you're good. You're going to be able to handle whatever it is when you get there, whatever. And when I got there, just standing in the line, I wasn't even thinking about, oh my goodness, I wish they hurry up. I was just looking around at the people, listening to what was going on. People were talking and stuff like that. It went perfect. I got the questions answered that I needed, and everything went good because I started my morning with me first. Now, let's get into the me first part too, because when people say they don't have time, they just really mean they wasted the time that they had. And I'm sorry to say it like that, but this is how it is, right? When you hear people say they got up at 4 o'clock to do A, B, and C, the reason why they got up at 4 o'clock to do that is because they really value the time that is theirs. Now, everybody has the same amount of time, And you might be thinking, well, I got to get up to go to work at 8 o'clock. Yeah, but do you have to sleep all the way until you sleep? Right? Because I used to look at people like that, like, how are you here at work, so prepared, and whatever. And it's when you prioritize yourself that everything else falls into place. And I didn't realize that until I started to do it. So that's the reason why I'm also sharing this message, because these things are basic things, but they set you up for success in so many areas, right? If you are well hydrated and you are eating good food, like you're healthy, you're getting enough rest, you're showing up as the most, clear person, clear version of yourself. You have clarity, you're ready to go, you're not irritated, you're not being bothered by something else. And so it makes you a better person in whatever it is that you decide to do, personal, professional, whatever the situation is. So that's why I said that, because nobody likes to go to the NBA, okay? And it went perfect. And I'm not saying that it went perfect, it was perfect. No, I'm not saying nothing went wrong. I'm just saying I felt better about it, knowing that I have been there in the opposite, needing to get something to eat, thinking, I got to eat after I get out of here, but I don't know how long I'm going to be sitting in this line. And none of that happened. But it's something that I feel like you should just pay attention to, because a lot of times things can be prevented, okay? If you spend the time to check on yourself every single day, daily. Self-care matters daily, all right? So yeah, really quick, let's talk about why the time that you have to yourself is limited, all right? And I'm going to try to say it really general, because everybody has different work schedules and things like that, and different responsibilities, or whatever, right? But the time that we have to ourselves where nobody's looking for us is the time, obviously, like right at bedtime and up until we wake up. So that's the reason why some people get up a couple of hours early, because they know if they get up at 4 o'clock, they're not getting the 2 hours sleep, but they are getting 2 hours of time to do whatever they want when nobody's asking them for anything or expecting anything from them. All right. So that's what I realized that makes sense, because I'll get up 2 hours before I have to be, ready to go to work. Okay. Because I want to be able to walk around the house, grab me some tea. I might watch a little bit of a podcast. I might play with my dog, go for a walk, exercise, whatever it is that I want to do, I can do it. You know what I'm saying? And you feel so much better by the time you're about to start your day when people are looking for you, because you've already sent like this subliminal message to yourself that, oh, we're good. We're good. You know what I'm saying? Just, you have to try it and see, because that is where I got the daily 5 from. Sometimes it's not about the action that you're doing, like, the act of going to work. Sometimes how well you do at work matters. Sometimes how well you do at work is all, what am I trying to say? Sometimes the great job that you do at work, or the great performance that you do over here, or the great conversation that you have over here, is all due to how you started with treating yourself that day. Okay. That's really because it spills out into your mood. It spills out into your relationships. It spills out into everything. And how you show up is the version that everybody perceives. Like, how do you want to show up? Like, when life happens, because life is going to happen, I don't want to show up thirsty. I don't want to show up hungry. And I don't want to show up tired. Okay. So those are things that I can control. And that is where the daily 5 come in at. All right. And the self-care roll call. Like, have you hydrated? Have you eaten any real food? Have you moved your body? Have you gotten any rest? And how is your prayer and reflection life? Those 5 basics that seem like they're so, small of actions, like those 5 things, if you did nothing but focus on those 5 things every day, you would progress in whatever it is that you're doing, because you're the best version of yourself. The best version of yourself. I'm sorry. I can think clearer when I'm not hungry. I can think clearer when I know that I've already instilled things in myself. Come on now. You have to spend that time, even if it's 5 minutes that you have. I have 2 hours sometimes, but that's because I chose to get up that early, right? But even if you only have 5 minutes, the point is you want to create a habit of doing that with yourself, because you are sending the message to yourself that you are the most important person, okay? And that is the main point of doing that. That's the main point of doing that. No matter how much time you have, you need to make it a priority to show up for yourself. Ask yourself, what do you need that day? And then do your best to give it to you with whatever you have. and that's it. Because you would do the same thing if you had a little kid that you were trying to take care of. Somebody just dropped their kid off and was like, I gotta go. They didn't give you no instructions or whatever. The very basics you would try to do. Are you hungry? Are you thirsty? Are you tired? Do that for yourself, okay? Because, people are out here waiting, for motivation. I'm not really motivated. And the thing is, you have to view those workouts, especially, you have to view as something that sometimes I'm going to be up here and sometimes I'm going to be down here, but we're still going to do it, okay? Because I struggled through many a workout, okay? I don't want to do that. But I know that the habit of showing up is what I'm trying to fulfill. And I'll just talk myself through the whole workout because I know we're going to feel great after we do it, all right? So you don't need motivation. You need some focus, all right? And you need to figure out which one of the daily 5, if not all of them, that you need to pay more attention to so that you can build your focus. The motivation comes after the action, okay? So please don't wait on motivation, all right? So I want you to think about what I said in the self-care roll call. How many hydrating drinks have you had in this past week? How many plates of real food have you had this past week? How much rest have you gotten? And start with those 3, all right? And then figure out which one you can focus on next week, all right? And we're also going to meet back here on Wednesday for the midweek check-in because this is something that people struggle with daily, all right? We're going to check in on Wednesday because the week might start off crazy and you might need to be snapped back into reality that you're the most important person. Where were you lacking at? What do you need? And go like that, okay? That's how we're going to do. So I'll see y'all on Wednesday. But I just wanted to come in with the weekly reset to just remind y'all you're the most important person in whatever it is you got going on. Because if you don't take care of yourself, then you're not going to be able to show up for any of those people that you need to show up for. Self-care matters daily. I say that all the time. And I'm actually walking through this in the Self-Care in Real Life 14-day reset because I want to do one of those resets before the end of the year. It's 14 days. It's $1 a day. And we're basically going to focus on basic habits, okay? Creating some consistency, creating some momentum in these 14 days that you can stack on, all right? Because we're going into the new year with changing lanes mentality, not I'm just starting. No, we're not doing that, all right? So we start on the 17th of November. The link is in the description below for you to go ahead and sign up. If you have any questions, also drop those in the comments below. But share this episode with a friend. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We're going to meet back here on Wednesday for the midweek check-in so we can see how y'all doing on those self-care goals, okay? Don't feel bad if you haven't started to work on anything. Don't feel bad if you aren't even sure what self-care is because we're going to go through all of that, all right? I'm your girl, Demita. Make sure you drop me a comment in the boxes below, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.